Triads are some of the most fundamental building blocks that we have on the guitar. And in today's video, I wanted to share a really, really good way to get some of this stuff under your fingers and get some of these parts moving. Because I think a lot of us, once we discover triads, we go, oh, this is the secret to the universe. And it is. Don't get me wrong. Triads are great. A lot of your favorite guitarist playing is probably just triads being used in a really good and musical way. They're beautiful. But what this exercise today looks at is a systematic approach to exploring some of the notes we can add to those triads to create a sense of motion and create a sense of movement. So without further ado, let's talk about it. We're going to look at triads on the D, G, and B string. These guys. And we're going to focus on one chord at a time. So right now I am playing an F major triad. Feel free to follow along with these tabs here that'll be popping up above my head. If you want to download these tabs, check out my Patreon down below. All of my patrons get early access to videos as well as the diagrams that pop up in these videos. So, love to see you over there. And you can get these to help you practice if you like. So, we're going to start out with this F major triad here. And the name of this game is we are adding one note, one extra chord tone to our triad to move to our next chord inversion. So this is a root position F major triad, which means my notes go root, third, fifth. If I have the fifth in my melody, that just means whatever note's on top of the chord is going to sound like the melody. If the fifth is on top, I am going to add a sixth to it. So I get this. I add my pinky on the third fret and add the note D, which turns this F major chord into an F major sixth chord for a second. This is what the exercise ends up doing, because this is going to bring us to our next F triad inversion. So we would go, and I'm going to add that note. So what did I do there? I played a root position F, I took the fifth and I made it a sixth. Then I went to an F major with the third and bass. So this is frets 7, 5, 6. Chord tones here would be 3, 5, 1. Again, you can see this all on the tab up there. But this chord is then going to get, because my root is in the melody, it's going to get the ninth or the second added to it, which is this note G. And again, I'm going to use my pinky to add that in. So this chord is going to go beautiful. Then I'm going to my next inversion, which is going to be a fifth and bass. So now my frets are 10, 10, 10, and my notes in the chord are fifth, root, third. Brain fart for a second there. I'm going to play that, and then if the third is in the melody, my rule is I'm going to add the fourth, which is just a half step up. So I'm going to put my middle finger down, and then I'm back where I started. So, really quick, to revamp those rules, because we're going to do this in a minor chord. We'll do this in one other major chord, and then we'll also do it in minor, so that you have a full kind of idea of what we're working with here. But if my fifth is in the melody, like it is in this root position, I'm going to add the sixth. If my root is in the melody, I'm going to add the second or the ninth. And then, if my third is in the melody, I'm going to add the fourth. And I'm going to end up back where I started. I was looking at my camera, ended up a fret too low. This is what this exercise sounds like in slow-ish motion. Feel free to follow along with me and just revel in this beautiful, beautiful sound. So we have. Then we could actually throw that 6 on again up top. Let's do that. So we'll go. Now we're doing the same thing. Brain fart again. In reverse. I'm going to do that one more time in F. So we have the fifth as our melody. Put it in the sixth. Root becomes the ninth. Third becomes the fourth. Beautiful. Now let's look at what we would do if we were playing a different chord. Let's try it in D major. So what we want to do when we're looking for the ones in D major, we want to find the lowest, and by lowest I mean leftmost on the guitar, or I guess rightmost if you're left-handed. Sorry for speaking in right-handed only terms. Lowest fret numbers that we can make a full one. So the lowest D major inversion I can play is this third and bass, which is 4, 2, 3 in terms of fret numbers. In terms of notes, 3, 5, 1. Again, you can just follow along with the tab up there. But as this goes through, same rules apply. So here I have my root in the melody. I'm going to add the 9th or the 2nd with my pinky. Then this becomes a 5th and bass chord, which is 7, 7, 7, or 5th root 3rd. And when my 3rd is in the melody, I add the 4th, which is just a half step higher. Then I go to a root position. My 5th is in the melody, so I'm going to put the 6th above it. Sorry if you hear a dog barking outside. Then I'm going to come back up to where I was and do the same thing. Then, going down, I'm doing the exact same thing, but I'm strumming the chord with the added note on first. There we go. So that whole bit in D major would sound like this. Little sketchy. I'll leave those little mistakes in. Even professional guitarists make mistakes. But that is it in at least 2 major keys. You can do it in all 12, and I encourage you to do it in all 12. But now let's take a look at the minor shapes, because the minor shapes work exactly the same way. Except now my F minor here is 3rd, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, or root, flat 3rd, 5th. I'm going to add the 6th. Then, when I go to this, 3rd and bass, so this is flat 3, 5, 1, or 6, 5, 6, if you speak fret numbers better than you speak notes. I'm going to add the 9th, because my root is in the melody. Then when I get to this 5th and bass, which is 10, 10, 9, or 5th root 3rd, I'm going to add the 4th, which is now a whole step higher than my flat 3. And then I end up back here at the top. So here, following along with the tab, if you like, is that in minor. So we get root position gets the 6th, 3rd and bass gets the 9th, 5th and bass gets the 4th, and then we're back up. Let's do the same thing in D minor. So same deal, but we're going to start with the 3rd in the bass. And the 3rd in the bass, remember, gets the 9th added to it. So we're down here. Then that is 5th in bass. It gets the 4th. We keep going up. Root position gets the 6th. And then we're back in 3rd and bass with the 9th. So, a full run of that in D minor. I'll go a little slow so you can hopefully follow along. We get this. Had a little brain fart there. I thought we were in F again for a second. But now that you kind of have this step-by-step framework, so we're playing all inversions of the chord and adding just one note to each of them. Now, anytime you reach for some of these chords, say you were in a real chord progression that went F, let's say it goes F, C, D minor, B flat. So relatively common chord progression. F, C, D minor, B flat. All of these, you have a note you can add. So then we get you're adding in these little extra notes to make what you're playing a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more interesting. So if you enjoyed this video and lesson, I'd really appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. It truly helps me out more than you could know. If you want to take a guitar lesson with me, there's a link to get in touch with me down in the description. I'd love to work with you on whatever's troubling you on the guitar. If you're looking for another way to support me, you can subscribe to my Patreon down below. All of my patrons get access to the PDFs that show up in this video to aid them in their practice. They also get early access to videos, as well as cool behind-the-scenes sneak peeks that I don't share anywhere else, so I'd love to see you over there. If you are looking for a different way to support me and what I'm up to, you can check out my ebooks or my video courses, linked down in the description or on the product shelf there. It's a great way to get some more educational content from me that's a lot more in-depth than I can go into in a 10 to 15 minute YouTube video. And last but not least, I have new videos coming out every single Monday and Thursday, so I hope I'll see you in the next one. And until I do, I'll wish you a wonderful day, and I hope you have some fun playing the guitar. Thanks.